Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Logical Nonsense Podcast. I am your host, Hunter Schuler. We've got Caden Walsh on today. Week 2 of the NFL was a very interesting week indeed, and we got to see all of it. So, Caden, I'm excited to go through it. As you know, we always rate every single game on a scale of grab your popcorn, Mediterranean Sea, and shit show. Um, some fun games this week, unexpectedly fun games, and some games that disappointed me that I thought were going to be great. So we can start with last night or Monday night with the Chargers and Raiders. What are you going to rate this game?
I'll give this Mediterranean Sea. It's, I think, almost borderline down to the shit show, just because of the way the Raiders played in this game. It was ugly. Gino had a rough game. The run
Yeah.
game, they could never get it going. And, this is what we see the Chargers do against worse teams. They just control the game, do their thing. Quentin Johnson looked good again. Herbert looked good again. And they walked out
Yeah.
with a pretty comfortable win at the end.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you. Mediterranean Sea, most definitely. I think in terms of Monday Night Football, I feel like the first game, especially the ending, was a lot more exciting for Monday night. So coming off of that high of watching Baker, which I know we'll get into a second, going into this game was a little disappointing. Still love how much Herbert is being involved in the passing game. It's great to see that resurgence after last season. Him kind of going, or the coaching schemes really going away from Herbert and his skills. So it's been great to see his resurgence in the passing game. Was a little disappointed that he kind of went away in that fourth quarter. I wanted them to kind of put on the gas pedal, and I know that was probably more of a coaching strategy thing, more so than probably him playing bad, but would have been nice to see that. Question for you. Do you think Herbert, and I know it's still super early, hearing this a lot, do you think Herbert has a legitimate MVP run chance if he keeps playing like this?
I think you can comfortably probably put him top 5. However, I still think there's a tier difference between the top 3 and the Herbert. I
Yeah.
think he could get to that level, but there's still a discrepancy between the Lamars and the Josh Allens compared to the way he plays, and that could be systematic too. He doesn't really have opportunities to go out, and throw for 400 in a game. It feels like so, but they keep controlling, keep winning. You can see him top 3 at best, I think.
Do you think voter fatigue will come into play into that question at all too? Because I mean, obviously, it's been kind of back and forth. I know Josh Allen just got his first, but Lamar has gotten two, or yeah, he's gotten two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so he could possibly get his third if he has a really good season. Then you get Josh Allen; he would get his second. Do you think voter fatigue would come into play at all?
I'm gonna lean towards no, and it's
Okay.
just because the level that those
Yeah.
two are at.
True.
It's even if you are a little fatigued, it's hard to look at the stats and the way they get propel their teams to wins and just be like those guys aren't MVPs just because
Yeah.
we're tired.
True. True. A lot of parallels, honestly, to the NBA in that
Yep.
sense. With Jokic. I know it went to SGA this year, but a lot of people were getting tired of Jokic. Jokic didn't get it the year that Embiid got it, and then he also didn't get it this year. And both of those seasons, people were definitely rooting hardcore for Jokic, just because of how high of play he is. So, kind of similar parallels there as well. All right, well, let's go to our other Monday night game. Kind of an exciting end with Baker coming down the field. I thought the Texans were going to pull away because they scored with very little time on the clock left. But if Baker has the ball last, you can never count him out. What are you rating this game?
Overall, I think it's Mediterranean,
Yeah.
right? We saw an exciting start, like scores on the first 4 or 5 drives to get it 4 drives, 14-10,
Yep.
and then complete sloppiness until the end of the fourth quarter. There's punts, turnovers.
Yeah.
I'm really concerned for this Texans offense again this year. I
Yeah.
think we've seen sparks of brilliance. However, it's just been rough besides a couple good drives here and there. And I think CJ Stroud is still struggling a little bit. I think receiving core is struggling a little bit. Run games a little lackluster, but their defense keeps them in games. and that is a benefit to the Texans. And they got that a couple turnovers there at the end to give them that lead. But
Yeah.
like you said, Baker Mayfield, one of the most clutch players in the league. First 2 weeks, 2 game-winning drives already, and yeah, get that man, ice in his veins type of
Yeah.
player.
Shout out Baker, man. I think the end of the game is definitely grab your popcorn, but I would agree with you. Most of the game was not that entertaining, to be quite honest with you. But shout out to Baker, man.
Yeah.
Like, I know last year, I think he was one of the top quarterbacks with interceptions, and he hasn't thrown one through 2 games. I know it's only through 2 games, but seems to me like he's making smarter decisions this year. And that's really good to see. I was kind of high on Baker. I felt like last year we saw the progression of him and his decision making continuously get better. I feel like as we've watched in his career, he just continually gets better. So it's nice to see him kind of make moves towards smarter football just because that's what teams need. Um, and I also want to shout out the Buccaneers running game. Very, very balanced between Bucky
Yep.
Irving and Rashad White carrying both the loads. And I think that's super important nowadays to, have two-headed monster in the backfield on top of a guy who can scramble in Baker. So I think the Bucks are a sleeper team. I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, the Falcons, this is their year to take over the NFC South," and I don't think they have it over the Bucks. I think the Bucks are the most all-around solid team, and I feel like they continue to replenish the receiving core with Emeka Egbuka. I know he didn't have as good of a game as he did in his first game, but 1 touchdown, 4 receptions, and 29 yards isn't terrible. So, and then on the Texan side of it, I agree with you, man. They have to figure this O line out. It's just not good. Stroud is not as efficient as he has been his rookie year. It's same old story, except for it feels like they're not coming out with those wins that they did last year. They're 0-2. Is it time to hit panic button? I kind of think so. Uh, Especially in this AFC South where right now the Colts are looking the best,
Yeah.
which is crazy to say, but yeah. What are you panicking with the Texans? And is the O line the only thing you're panicking about?
I think, man, the O line leads to the success everywhere else, right?
Yep.
Obviously, so that's got to be the first thing that they address because none of your plays are able to develop. You're not able to set up, play actions because the run game isn't developing, and it's just all got to be pretty much cookie cutter. And when that's your offense, it's easy to defend a team like that. So CJ Stroud needs more time. The run game needs to be more efficient, and that starts, at the point of attack with that O line. So they
Definitely.
probably need to make a couple moves. Otherwise, they're going to just keep on falling behind from that success they had 2 years ago.
Totally. Totally. Yeah, I agree 100%. And honestly, Texans almost walked away with this one. Like I said, like they had a chance to win this game. And I still think I'd be having these conversations because the O-line is still a concern for me. Stroud still doesn't look the same to me. So, regardless if they win this game or not, I still think those conversations are still being had. However, I don't think they're as panicked. I don't know. I would still be panicked, but I think other people might not be as panicked if they had won this game. So, all right, going to Sunday Night Football. Very, very interesting game. The Falcons took away this one in week 2 against the Vikings. Were you shocked by how dominant the Falcons were in this game?
First off, I'm gonna stop you. You have Eagles Cowboys on the banner on the bottom.
Oh my gosh, I've had it there the whole time.
So yeah, I just clicked.
I've had it there the
It
whole
was
time. Thank you,
yeah.
appreciate it.
All right. I don't really know because you say dominating, but it was just it was a shit show. That's what I'm gonna give it to. This game was so ugly, dude. And the Vikings fans are the most bipolar fans this season so far. Like JJ sucks. He's the worst quarterback. Oh, he's the best quarterback I've ever seen. He's back. He just needs some time to develop. And then they're already calling for, we'll trade a first, give Sam Darnold back. Why did we get rid of Daniel Jones? Like, already given up on McCarthy, and he had a rough game. Like, you can't say he
Yeah.
didn't. That was pretty poor. But Falcons defense looked good. The offense moved the ball, but they kicked a lot of field goals, which, it's concerning they weren't able to finish drives to me, but it was just domination from the beginning in a very ugly game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the run game was the biggest thing that the Vikings couldn't stop. I
Yeah.
mean, Bijan Robinson
Yep.
having 143 yards and then Algier also having 76, like 200 yards rushing total is just something you can't have as a defense. Um, it's so early to make any sort of judgment calls on JJ McCarthy, but I do think we've put way too much pressure on this kid to perform right off the gate. Um, and when I say that, I'm not necessarily like defending him, but I also think like the Vikings have put him in this pedestal of we're going to trade away everyone because we believe in you that much. And that was before they saw any sort of NFL snap, tape, anything like that. And I am personally not a fan of that. I don't think it usually works out. You get your weird cases with your Jaden Daniels and your CJ Strouds where, their first year they do end up performing well, but I don't know. I think there's a lot to figure out with this Vikings team. On both sides of the ball, honestly. I still think the running game from the Vikings is really weird. It doesn't really to me, it doesn't really feel like exactly who like is Jordan Mesa is kind of the lead back, but then Aaron Jones plays a lot too. I don't know. I feel like the identity on offense isn't fully there. I like Kevin O'Connell, but I think there's still some things to figure out. But overall, I would agree with you. I think it's definitely a shit show.
Yeah.
Um, what are your thoughts on Penix? I feel like a lot of people are kind of high on this kid. Obviously, UW guy, so
Yeah.
it's our job to hate on him. But
Yeah.
honest, unbiased opinion of Penix so far.
I don't think he's like, performed at a top level, but I think he's exceeded expectations that I gave him going into this year as a starting quarterback. I think he's managed games well so far. They put themselves in position to win the first game against the Bucks, and then obviously he came out and he's playing pretty much systematic, I'd say, through the first 2 weeks, and he's doing it well. I think he makes a lot of good throws, and then he misses a couple key ones as well. So I think he's doing above what I expected. And he's playing pretty solid football at the moment, but it also helps having the talent around him on the offense.
Totally. Yeah, I agree. All right, we'll go to our next game. We got Eagles versus Chiefs. The rematch of the Super Bowl that was boring in a different way.
Yeah.
This game also boring, but in the complete opposite. I'll start here.
Yeah.
I'm giving this a shit show. This was extremely boring. I had the Broncos game on as well. And I was like, "Ooh, this is gonna be tough," because I'm probably gonna want to be paying attention to this Eagles Chiefs game just because of the stakes. And I barely looked over. Like it was, it was a rough game, man. It was very slow, very long drives. The Chiefs drive where Travis Kelce drops the ball into the other defender's hand. That was rough. You got the tush push, and now there's all this drama about the tush push and how it's the worst play in football because guards are jumping. Refs don't even know what's happening in the middle of the field. So there was a lot of drama in this game. And I mean, when you have these two very loyal fan bases, like I think drama is to be expected. But there was so much drama on a game that wasn't that exciting to watch. There wasn't a lot of big plays. Like I said, very methodical, very slow. Like not a whole lot of offense. Like only 200 yards of offense for the Eagles. That's pretty sad. And then you look at the Chiefs and they're just barely over, or no, they're closer to 300, but still like there just wasn't a lot to go off of this game.
No, I agree with you. It was ugly, and it was overhyped, or not overhyped, but it was hyped to be the best game this week, right? And then that's the product we got on the field, and Hurts had 101 passing yards. That's crazy to me because we saw he lit it up at the end of last year, and then this year they're just not throwing the ball. It's
No.
kind of like his average like depth per pass is like 3 yards a pass.
Yeah.
Everything's underneath. It's all screens or quick hitches and stuff like that. They're not really getting the ball down the field. They're controlling time of possession, and they're kind of letting their defense keep them in games, which is a dangerous game for them to play. Is
Yeah.
they go against teams that actually perform on offense well the whole
Yeah.
game, and they're going to find themselves
Exactly.
playing a lot of catch-up ball. So I think the Eagles, the start this year has been very slow compared to what I expected them to bounce off of last year's Super Bowl.
Yeah, 100%. Question on the Chiefs: Are they no longer fun to watch?
Kinda, and I don't know. The offense was electric for so long, and then the last couple of years the defense has been electric. But now we're not really getting either of that. Mahomes is the leading rusher on the
Yeah.
team, which is weird. Their pass game isn't really as exciting as it used to be. They don't really have all the weapons. They're not all healthy at the moment either. And then you got players fighting on the sidelines with each other.
Yep.
Mahomes and Kelsey and Chris Jones. So I think that would be a fair take. They're not really as fun. We know they can push the ball and they have that potential, but it's weird not seeing a Chiefs team that just goes down and scores almost every possession like they have in the last year and a half.
Yeah, I mean, you just look back when you had Tyreek Hill and how fun that Chiefs offense was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how do you even compare these two teams?
Yeah.
Like you said, like even when the defense was good, like I think back on these last 2 years because I was reflecting about this on my way to work. And it's like this team took a total flip. They used to be one of the most fun teams to watch. Even if you didn't like the Chiefs, even if you hated watching every primetime game with the Chiefs, they used to be fun to watch. You knew if you're going to watch a Chiefs game, it was probably going to be exciting, dramatic, have good finishes, Patrick Mahomes and that's just what they do. These last 2-3 years, it's been very well coached, but very strategic, slow ball. And it's because, like you said, their weapons just really haven't been there. And even when Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice come back, like, am I that more excited about this team anymore? I don't know. My second question when it comes to the Chiefs, is it too early to hit the panic button? I know it's the Chiefs. We've talked about this so many times before. Is it too early to hit the panic button?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've seen it time and time again to never really doubt them because for all we know, they could flip a switch and go win the next 15. They're that capable of doing that.
Yep.
So I'm not worried. They have all the talent. They have the coach, one of the best coaches of all time. I think they figure it out. And now they get the Giants this week, who knows how they'll show up, and they get the Ravens in 2 weeks. So the Chiefs are looking at a 1-3 potential start to this season, which is something different for them than they face. But I think you can never put them out. They can always go on a tear. But there is, a little bit of cause of concern with what we've seen so far that I haven't really seen in years prior.
Yep. The thing I will give the Chiefs is I think after their bye week, there's true potential for them to go on a good run. I know I'm going to shout out my Broncos here, but they play the Broncos twice, which they could go 1-1 on that. They could go 2-0. We don't know. But after the Broncos, they play Colts, Cowboys, Texans, Chargers, Tennessee, Broncos, and Raiders. I think all of those games are capable of winning. So I definitely think they're still a playoff team. Like, I'm not even throwing it out there, but it is interesting because in years past, even when the talent didn't seem like it was there, we didn't have this panic moment with them this soon. It feels like they always started off on the right foot, and this year they really haven't. So kind of an interesting dynamic for the Chiefs this year. All right. That will bring us to our next game. Cardinals versus the Panthers. What do you rate this game?
We go shit show on this one. And the Cardinals got off to an absolute like rocket start, and I was like, all right, this is what they're supposed to do. Bryce Young struggled again. The Panthers offense really struggled, especially the run game. Horrendous. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know, they might not even had 50 rushing yards, to be honest.
Yep.
It was gross. And then the Cardinals let them get back in the game,
Yeah.
and the Panthers could have honestly had a drive there at the end to win that game, which is crazy because it was just a tale of two halves, pretty much. One team dominated the other, and then the Cardinals played like shit to even it out.
Yeah.
So it was a shit show.
This is what I expect from
Yeah,
the Cardinals though.
yeah,
Like this is a team, and I think Dodge said it last week, so I'll give him credit. This is a team that plays to the level of who they're playing.
yeah.
Like no matter how far up they are or how behind they are, they will always make it a game, regardless of who they're playing. And I think that's the best way to describe the Cardinals. Shout out to Carolina for giving a good fight. Don't know why. I think Bryce Young has improved, but having him throw the ball 55 times in
Yeah.
this game was actually insane. Like, I don't know if we should be letting it fly like that. That is that is
Yeah.
nuts. So, but yeah, I agree. The rushing game on both sides was awful. Yeah, this game was a shit show to say the least. And do you believe in any of these either of these teams after this week?
No. I had
Yeah.
no shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that brings me to Broncos versus the Colts. And I just want to paint the picture to you on this game before we talk about it. So I got a Sunday ticket, which I'll let you know about. And best decision of my life. Not gonna lie. Sunday was awesome. Morning slate, having a grand old time. 4 games at once, even brought another TV down, put on a 5th game. It was going great. I was like, this is how my Sunday should be. I love this. Fiance makes 7-layer dip. Shout out Fiance. I'm like, dude, this is a gas Sunday. I have a few Modelo's. I'm like, this is great. Put on the Broncos game. We're up at half. I'm like, okay. Third quarter comes. They're still sticking in there. I'm not loving how the Colts are kind of lingering in there. I'm like, God damn it. Fourth quarter comes, and just the mistakes were awful. I mean, just Bo Nix's pick after a long drive, that hurt. Will Lutz missing a field goal, that hurt. And then the Colts make a stupid decision and settle for a 60-yard field goal. They miss. Late flag, leverage. I'm like, what the fuck, man? And immediately I'm like, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. Let's see the clip. Sure enough, homie's fucking teabagging him. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? And everyone's like, the ref sold. And like, do I love the call? No. Do I think it's warranted? Probably. Like as an unbiased person, probably warranted. Do I like it in the situation? Not really. So to rate this game, it was fairly fun to watch, actually. I think it teeters on grab your popcorn, but I think there's better games in this week, so I'll give it Mediterranean.
I will up it to grab your popcorn.
Okay.
I thought it was one of the better games of the week, just comparatively to the rest of the slate. And the Colts still haven't punted yet, which is crazy. The first team in NFL history to not
Yeah,
punt
they just kept
through
going
2
for it.
games. So they either scored or they, on downs. So
Yep.
they still haven't punted. Their punter are just getting paid for free work, which is nice. Good for that guy. Shout out Colts punter. And Daniel Jones, he looked pretty decent again, but Jonathan Taylor, yes, sir, that
dude,
running
back.
all over the Broncos defense, like 160 something rushing yards. Insane. He pretty much carried that team to this game. And I think we see another case with the Broncos of bend don't break defense, especially at the end there. They're up with 28-20. Every time the Colts got something going, they held them to a field goal. And the Broncos gave themselves plenty of chances to put away this game and put away this team. And just the silly mistakes, like you said, really cost them. I think Denver's a way better team than the Colts still,
I do too.
even through the first 2 games. And that's just an unfortunate penalty there at the end. Like if it's like a 30-something yard field goal, I understand trying to bring all out up the middle wherever you got it and try to block it because it's pretty much guaranteed at that range. But at 60 for a guy whose long is not even close to 60, it's inexcusable for your player to do that. And it, like you said, it was pretty obviously penalty, and it's just very disgusting, sickening way to end a game.
It was a gross way to lose, man. Like the Broncos, like I said, there were so many mistakes that led up to that moment. So I'm not gonna say that one play is why we lost, because I genuinely think that they could have iced this game much sooner. But it sucks when it comes down to a bonehead mistake like that. I do want to talk about the Broncos defense though, because going into the season, you and I had both agreed like this is going to be a top tier defense. And after week 1, they looked solid. Like I genuinely still believe that. Week 2, they were tested, and I do want to talk about that because I think a lot of people are questioning, are the Broncos as good on defense as we thought we were? Pat Surtain was clearly hurt that game. Did not look as great. Was giving up catches to guys he does not normally give catches to. He went down for a little bit. He was dealing with something. I know they're not putting a whole lot out there, and there's probably reasons for that, but he was visibly hurt that game. So I do want to say that. And Greenlaw out hurt a lot. Like this linebacking core without him is not like Singleton. He's just not the linebacker they need. They need a solid other inside linebacker. And the pass rush wasn't as heavy as I'd liked it to be. It felt like Danny Dimes was getting the ball out quick, getting it to his receivers, and you cannot let a guy run all over you. 165 yards. And he was their only rusher. Like, workhorse, man. That's crazy. So, shout out to the Colts. I think the Colts, I'm going to pay their respect. I know it's early still, but this team is looking a lot better than I thought they were going to. And if Jonathan Taylor continues to play like this, when Daniel Jones does have his bad games, they can lean on him, and that'll be huge for this Colts team. And their defense is better than I thought too. Do you think the Colts are legit?
I think they're solid. I think they're better than we gave them credit for. I think they're a playoff team now. I think they've elevated and earned that respect. I think they could slip into 6-7 for the playoffs.
Do you think they'll win the division? That's a bigger question.
That's tough because I think the Texans are going to play better somewhere along the line. I don't think they're going to be that bad again, like they've showed. I still think the Texans win, but I think it's going to be a one game, like maybe game 16, 17. I'm sure they play in one of those weeks, and I'm sure it's going to be decided then and there. But I will say the Colts line looks really good.
Yeah,
they're elite. The defense looked better than we thought, but I do want to see how Daniel Jones and how the team, bounces around him if he has a bad game too, how they react to one of those, because it's hard to use Jonathan Taylor more than they did in that game.
True.
Given an elite defense you're going against, so it's like checks and balances there. Totally. But we'll see how they go as they continue.
I agree. All right, next game. Moving to the early slate of games, Browns versus Ravens. Kind of a blowout, man. Do you got much to say on this one?
Shit show. I don't know if it's time to give the young guys a shot at quarterback because this Browns team's not very, they're not very good. Gabriel went in 3 passes and a tutty. Good for him, I guess. But
here's my question.
Just
before you go in, do you think it's Flacco's fault?
No, I would say no. I think they just O-line hasn't looked good. Run game hasn't looked good. Receiving cores looked rough. Defense is okay, but defense can't help you out when you're not giving them time to rest or anything like that. I think just overall, it's just a bad team all around, and no one really helps each other out in that regard. So I don't think it's Flacco's fault by any means. I think he's still good, but he did have that pick 6.
Yeah,
that was in a fumble, but I don't know. That's why I think maybe just let the young guys go because you're not going to be any worse, really.
Yeah. I do wonder though. I don't know. There's some weird stuff going with the Browns, but the one thing I do want to bring up too is I find it so funny to me how many people are surprised at how rock solid Harold Fannin is. Just because like he had such a good year last year, and I know
Yeah.
he's from Bowling Green, but like he was
Yep.
one of the best tight
Mm-hmm.
ends in
Yep.
college
It's
football last
good.
season. I picked him up in my dynasty league because I was like, dude, this kid could be good.
Yep.
And so far he's
Yeah.
met
Mm-hmm.
expectations. Like he's been a solid, reliable resource for the Browns. And I think Harold Fannin, like his future is looking bright. The two tight end personnel that they've been doing
Mm-hmm.
a lot has been working a
Yep.
lot for them. And I think it's been working because they don't really have options at the wide
Yeah.
receiver spot. So
Yeah.
I just this year's done for the Browns. Like I think we can
Yep.
already cross them off as a
Yep.
playoff. Like they're not making playoffs. They needed identity. They poured all their
Mm-hmm.
marbles into Deshaun Watson, and it
Yeah. Yeah.
fucked them hardcore, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad.
Yep.
The outlook is bad over there. So I agree. Put in the young guys. Just see what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So all right. Well, let's go to our next game: Seahawks versus Steelers. I believe we did. You also have the Seahawks win in this
Mm-hmm.
game?
Yep.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
believed in the Seahawks, but Dodge
Yep.
did not.
Mm-hmm.
And the Seahawks came to play.
Yep.
Thoughts on this game?
Uh, Overall, Mediterranean. I think I'm not surprised here because I thought the Seahawks were going to play better. It was Sam Darnold's first game. A bunch of
Yep.
new faces for them, trying to figure stuff out. So I wasn't concerned. And I also thought the Steelers overperformed in week
Mm-hmm.
one. So this is kind
Mm-hmm.
of getting the teams back to that level where I assumed they were going to be at. And, Rodgers back down to earth, the Steelers offense back down to earth. So that kick return, muffed kick return for a touchdown is inexcusable, to say the
Yeah.
least. That was disgusting. But yeah, this is just overall mid. I think the Seahawks got a good bounce back, and I think this is the level that we'll see from these teams through this year now.
Yeah. The kickoff return, like this is why I don't love having like I know that rookies like this is their chance to like maybe prove something that they can do, but this is why I don't love it for your team. It's because stupid mistakes like this happen. First year in the league, probably doesn't fully understand the rules of the kickoff because it's new coming from college, and that's the type of shit that happens. So that's inexcusable. I completely agree. I thought the Seahawks defense played
Mm-hmm.
way better. Aaron Rodgers kind of back to earth a little bit, like you said. I agree. I think it was a Mediterranean. It was good to see the Seahawks move the ball on offense. Still some bonehead mistakes though,
Mm-hmm.
like 2 picks that I felt like could have been avoided
Yeah.
by Sam Darnold. But overall, it was good to see Kenneth Walker get in there because everyone was out on Kenneth Walker after
Yeah.
1 week. I was like, come on now, like
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But it was good to see him back in there. He had a good game and getting Cup involved, getting Jackson Smith and Jigba involved. Like I think this
Mm-hmm.
team is on a path to continuously get better and continue to be a sleeper team like I had thought at the beginning of the year. All right, well, let's go to our next game, which is the Bills versus Jets. Another blowout.
Yeah. It was also a shit show for me. Justin Fields, why, man? It sucks to see the injury, but played so good in week one, just to not play very good, and then also get a concussion. And he left early, and he was still their leading rusher even after he left, which tells you how this game went. It was ugly for the Jets, and the Bills. Josh Allen fucking broke his nose or whatever happened there. That was so he went running out, and then they just went on a heavy dose of Cook, and Cook played good, but this Jets defense isn't as good as I thought they were going to be. I think that's been proven through the first 2 weeks, which is disappointing because that's kind of been the Jets' identity the last couple of years, having a solid defense to keep them in games. But
Yeah.
now we get to see what Tyrod Taylor gets to do. And I was optimistic for the Jets after week one, and now I feel like the season's already going to start to crumble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really sucks because I agree. I think
Mm-hmm.
Justin Fields needs to be at the helm for this team to be able to succeed. Just because I think he adds that um, dual threat attack that the Jets need in order to succeed. Like get the open it up for Breece Hall and let that running game do its thing. So I think Justin Fields is the key to this offense, and I didn't think they were going to win this one to begin with. Like,
No.
I think they're frisky, but I don't think they're frisky enough to give the Bills a real good game. So,
Yeah.
but on the other hand, James Cook, like I've been saying this for a few years now, James Cook is a solid, underrated back, man. Like people always kind of overlook him and say like, like he gets a lot of touchdowns, like it's all like, touchdowns are luck. No, James Cook is good, man. Like he is a solid running back. Like I would 100% put him in that top 10 running back in the league conversation. Like he earned the paycheck he got in the offseason. He is a very, very solid back, and I think the Bills got very lucky finding a back in him to button up with Josh Allen. And honestly, it'll open up Josh Allen's running game. So but yeah, I agree. Shit show blowout was not on my multi-view. That's for sure.
Yeah.
49ers Saints. Weirdly close at the end here. What are you rating this one?
Mediterranean overall. Spencer Rattler had a pretty decent game here.
Yeah.
So it was kind of what you would expect with backup quarterback versus a guy that probably wouldn't start on 30 other teams, right? So, but they ran Kamara more, which I liked. Their offense looked pretty decent towards the end of that game, and on the Niners side of the ball, Mac Jones looked good, which tells you how well coached this team is, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Feels like you can really plug in anyone, and it also benefits them that they got the Saints in his first game, because if you would have went against like a Bills defense or a Ravens defense, like it would have been a completely different story. And they get the Cardinals next week, so I think the injury came at a good time for the Niners. As much as you hate injuries, but it was just a solid game. I think they did what they had to do. They pulled it out, and then now they're just going to try to survive every week until they can get all their guys back.
Yeah, no, 100%. This was a Mediterranean game, but I was looking over there and I was like, dude, if the Saints pull this off, this will be interesting. But they found a will to win, and I think, like you said, that's just a testament to their coaching. Kyle Shanahan's a good coach, and I agree. I think this injury came at a good time. Mac Jones is a very, very solid backup. Like he's a backup you want, like a guy that can step up and make plays. He's not a starter, but he is somebody who can step into that role and be a solid option at QB for you. And I agree. I think he would struggle against those tougher defenses. So came in at a good time. Not much else to say. I thought, McCaffrey continues to be a threat both in the air and in the run, which is good to see. Hopefully he continues to stay healthy, just because he is so fun to watch on that offense. So, all right, going to our next game. Let's go to the Dolphins Patriots.
Probably you can go Mediterranean here.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it was close, right? But I don't know. Didn't really feel like very good football overall. I didn't really get to watch much.
Football.
Yeah, from what I saw, it was pretty sloppy. Like you said, 2 missed extra points by the Patriots to start the game, which is weird. I don't know, but Drake May played pretty solid, I'd say. They moved the ball well. He was involved in both the pass and the run game. I think the run game looked a little bit better this week than last week. And the Dolphins, sorry, is it over? It's over already. The season.
Yeah, it's over.
The whole team's about to blow up potentially. Just don't have that drive, that like killer mentality. It's the want to win. It just all doesn't seem like it's there. No one's really sold in on this team.
Yeah. McDaniel's seat's on fire right now. It's bad over there. Defense looks like trash. Miami's defense looks like trash, and I don't want to discredit Drake May for having a hit a game, but like this secondary of the Dolphins is so bad, man. So bad. It's like it's painful to watch how bad this defense is in their secondary. Yeah, I mean, this Dolphins team, I think, is done for. I think the Patriots, there's still a lot to prove for me with this Patriots team. Like, yes, they got the win, but like I said, this game was sloppy. Like it wasn't great football, and I think that the Patriots have a lot more to do and learn to be a true contender.
Mhm.
So that's all I'll say on that. I think it was a Mediterranean game, although it did get exciting.
Yeah.
I thought the Dolphins won it for a sec there,
True.
because I think they had some play that turned into a touchdown, but then it got called
Oh,
back.
yeah.
So, all right, Rams Titans.
Man, we gotta give the Rams an apology already every year, like we do.
Fucking
When we're
Christ,
like,
man.
this is the year they suck. Like they can't do it again. 2-0, and they look pretty good doing it.
Yeah.
Right. This will be a real test next week against the Eagles, but they've been solid so far. The defense is solid. Stafford looks good. Father Time Stafford. Devontae Adams looked really good. Father Time Devontae Adams. So they
Puka.
controlled the game. Yeah, they controlled the game that they should have won. They were losing at halftime, and then second half showed like that they're the better coach team, the more talented team. I still want to see Cam Ward get let loose a little bit more. I know they don't have weapons, but I just think he's played okay through the first 2 weeks, like pretty decent. But it's hard to do that with as little talent as they really have, and it's just going to be a rough year for the Titans again overall. I don't really think Cam Ward gives them that edge like a lot of
Yeah.
people thought he was going to, even though he's talented.
No, yeah, I don't think that's even a stab at Cam Ward. I
No.
just think this team is just it needs more, right? Like it's not even that Cam Ward is the reason they're bad. It's like honestly, it's nice to see the Titans have some sort of stability at
Mhm.
quarterback after last season. So I think Cam Ward, like, give him time. Like I
Yep.
think, like you said, maybe try to let him loose a little bit more, get a little bit crafty. It feels like a lot of Tennessee's game plan is orchestrated, if you
Mhm.
will, and I don't I don't know if that's what they should be doing, if they wanna get frisky and win games. Titans were frisky, but Rams were much better coached. They've got Stafford at the helm. They just have way more weapons. This offense is a lot better than I thought they would
Mhm.
be, honestly. So, like you said, shout out to the Rams. They're
Yeah.
always gonna be in it. So, Mediterranean game for me. Um, let's move to our next game. Bears Lions.
You go shit show here. This is a fucking belt to ass spanking, right? Like Dan
Do you think they
Campbell.
ran up the score?
Yeah, oh yeah, and I don't blame him. After what everyone was saying last week, after who's on that other sideline, you got something to prove, and go for it on 4th and 4. Uh, don't know field goals. I like it. I honestly like that kind of football, so I wasn't mad about it. I think you have to prove something, and Goff played great, and the Lions proved that they're still the Lions.
Yeah. No, it was great to see the Lions back, man. That first week, it just didn't
Yeah.
look like themselves.
Mm,
And I remember, like, at the beginning of the year, you and I were like, I don't know if the coordinators are going to affect them that much.
yeah.
And then after week one, I'm like, fuck, was I wrong?
Mm,
This proved to me I'm not wrong. Like, this team has it in them. Like,
mhm,
100% has it in them. I think it just was a testament, and we'll get to it later. I think it was a testament how good the Packers defense
mhm.
was. So it was great. I mean, Amon Ra had a
Yeah.
fucking day. 3 touchdowns is insane. So shout out to Amon-Ra St. Brown. My goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it is funny to see all the conversations on if they ran the score up if or
Mhm.
not. But God, there's so much conversation on Caleb Williams. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on him?
I don't know, man. He's so hard to gauge because he'll look really good for a drive, and
Mhm.
then he'll look really shit for the next drive. It's
Yeah.
like the most bipolar quarterbacking I ever seen. And you know, him and Adunze, that connection is building, and I like that they played a solid game together. Their chemistry is there, but Caleb Williams, their O line is not very good,
Yeah.
right? So he's trying to improvise on a lot of plays, and when you improvise, it either goes really well or really bad. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of times it goes more on the bad end, trying to create plays like we saw him do in college, still running around extending. So this motherfucker.
Can't join the pod, but
Yeah,
he can
yeah,
comment.
yeah. All right, buddy. Yeah,
Um,
I think he looks just average and it's very streaky quarterback.
I agree. Yeah, he's way too inconsistent. There, because I agree. I think it's in him. Like we see drives where I'm like, dude, this is what people saw when he went number one. This is the quarterback where he can lead a drive. He has this incredible athleticism. His throws are right on target. But then the next drive, he's sailing it over receivers' heads, looking panicked, crossbody throws. And I'm like, what is happening here? So I agree. I think the consistency needs to be there. But I don't love everyone just like completely out on Caleb Williams because I don't think that I don't think he's bad. I really don't. I think he like you said, I just think he needs to be more consistent. Um to be like don't be surprised in 2-3 years if like he is good because I think he just needs time. Like to me he's just an immature quarterback. That's all it is right now. Um But it is also interesting that the Bears line is so bad because they went out and got so many free agents and tried to make it better this
Yeah.
offseason. So I still don't know what the problem
Yeah.
is there. Maybe they need a new O-line coach. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go to our next game. We've got the Cowboys versus Giants. You pulled this one out.
10 heart attacks within the last half hour of that game. I was like, all right, we looked pretty solid in week 1. Week 2 against the Giants at home. We have a history of playing really well against the Giants. Should be a pretty dominating win. Russ didn't look good in week 1. I thought we were going to go out and do what we usually do to the Giants, like we have like 14 times in a row. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're losing. And we get back in it and we take the lead. I'm like, all right, now we're going to run away with it. Then the Giants go down and score on like a 4th and 4. And then I'm like, all right, well, we're losing, but there's still plenty of time. We go down, score. I'm like, all right, now we're going to put this away. And Giants go down, score again. I'm like, okay, well, there's like 2 minutes left, guys. Let's please do something. Then we go down and score with 50 seconds left. I'm like, all right, now it's over. There's no way they're going to score in 3. And then they go down and score. And I was like, bro, like when they threw that deep touchdown to Neighbors at the end, I about
Dude,
threw up because
insane.
I know, like Russ 450 yards. Are you kidding me, Russ? After like 90 yards or 100 yards in week 1,
Yeah.
like, and but no, Brandon Aubrey, pay that man whatever he wants, please.
Yeah. My
That thing
goodness.
was good from almost 70 probably, and he doesn't even look like he puts any effort into his kicks.
No.
It's just
He's
so
insane.
pure, and he's the first kicker to kick a kick with 0 seconds in the game and in overtime, so that's pretty cool. But Dak looked good. I thought the offense looked pretty good. Defense is a lot of concerns there now. And I think week 1 when they played the Eagles, all the passes were, underneath. Like Jalen Hurts didn't let it loose. So it was easy to rally and make tackles and contain that. Now with the Giants, I think they exposed our zone defense, especially the deep ball, which isn't a bad thing. What you need to work on going forward. But there is concerns playing a Giants team that looks so bad in week 1, that close in week 2. But then
Yeah.
Russ also threw that moon ball in overtime, which was weird because he was playing so good. And
Yeah, I don't know.
float that.
That
But
seemed forced to me. Yeah.
yeah, but you take the wins where you can get them. So
Yeah. Three key questions for you. First one, what do you think of the drop play?
I don't know.
You don't know what to think of the drop play?
No. Was that
The
I didn't
the
even
running
catch
back
the game until the second half.
yeah, for the field goal. They
Oh
ran the ball.
yeah, no, that was good. I thought that
You
was.
liked that
Yeah, I
call.
did like that. Yeah,
So a lot of people don't
yeah.
like that
No, I
call.
do
They
like
thought it was
it.
stupid and very risky, but
No,
you
I
liked it.
think I did. I think any way you could get those yards there was good. So I thought it was, yeah. I think it was okay. Obviously, won the game. So
Don't question if you win.
yeah.
Second question. Is Russ back? Or is this a bad Cowboys defense?
I
Or
think
a
it's
mix of
bad.
both?
I don't like our defense, to be honest. I think we're still missing some key players that that left. But man, it's inexcusable, I think, to let Russ do that to you. But Russ has shown those flashes of brilliance over the last couple of years too. So I think everyone was so harsh on Russ after week 1 that it just seemed
Yeah.
more surprising that he went out and did that week 2. But he's still, he's still one of the best quarterbacks all time overall. So you can't discredit him going out and having a performance like that. So
Yeah.
I think
No,
it was more,
he looked
he looked
good,
really
man.
good. So we'll see how he looks week 3, or it's going to be a bipolar kind of year for him. But I think it's a mix of both, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Russ looked really good, and I think that's, like, one of the biggest thing. I was shocked at how good he looked, and Justin's placement on his deep balls were, like,
Yeah,
awesome. He
dude,
was reading
on a
and
rope.
dicing up the defense. It
hmm
was, like, insane. It looks
Yep.
like vintage Russ,
hmm
and it was fun to see because, like, when Russ is on, he's a fun
Yeah.
player to watch,
hmm
so, and then the other thing about this game, I guess it's not necessarily a question, but Jesus Christ, how many penalties
Bro.
were put? Holy shit, man, that first drive of the
Yeah.
Cowboys or the Giants,
Yeah.
oh
Oh,
my lord, like, it was so
no.
tic-tacky, and I feel like that was a criticism that I had for almost every game this week.
hmm
Penalties were
Dude.
flying, man,
No.
like, flying, and
hmm
I don't know if it's, like, early football and, like, there really are that many
hmm
penalties on the field or if it's more so refs
Yeah.
wanting to be inserted into the game, but what are your thoughts on the
Dude,
penalties, man?
it's so gross, and it just really kills games too and momentum. Like, I would rather let them get away with it and let's let the games be a little more exciting than just call a flag every other play. Obviously, you got to call the obvious ones like that Giants player smashing him in the helmet and then like jumping on him and forearming him in the back of the head. Like, I had 4 penalties on one drive. But then again, there's a lot of like nick like ticky tack holdings and ticky tack PIs and stuff like that. And like sometimes just let them play football. But 20 was it 24 or 28 penalties total? That's just absurd.
It's
It's
yeah,
it's
24.
just not even fun. Like, from a fan's perspective, I'm sure playing the game, it's like, really, am I going to get called for every little thing you do?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
It was
ugly football. I
nuts.
hope they lock it in. It's either be better play or just maybe more loose officiating.
Yeah, in week 2, I just looked it up because I was curious. 281 penalties were called this week
Yeah.
across all games,
Oh,
and I don't know what a typical number is to, like, tell you if that's normal or not, but it
it's
seemed like a lot,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Seemed like a lot. So, um, but yeah, super fun game to watch. Very entertaining. Definitely the best game this week, in my opinion. Um, last game on Sunday, Jaguars versus
Mhm.
Bengals. Obviously, big story here is Joe Burrow going down, but they still
Yeah.
got the win. Is this a more testament to the Bengals' weapons or the Jags being bad?
I think I'm a lean Jags being bad here, and because Browning came in when they were losing, threw 3 interceptions, and the Bengals still won the game. And I think that's more of a testament to the Jags just not executing and, sucking. And, Trevor Lawrence came out and ETN came out and they looked really solid the first couple drives. And then kind of, I don't know what happened. It went all downhill to that. Maybe the Bengals were rallying for Burrow. The defense looked better in the second half. I'll give them that. But Bengals O line is rough, to say the least. Again, I don't know how they've been rough for so many years and they really haven't addressed that. It's kind of just sickening to see, honestly, them waste Burrow and now he's hurt. And this is a result of them not building an O line and just letting it progressively stay bad.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
it's because
Trevor Lawrence had some.
everyone wants to get paid on the Bengals. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
true. No, you're good. Trevor Lawrence had some pretty rough throws at the end of that game when they were trying
Yeah.
to like seal it. And now, there goes the Burrow MVP take I had. It sucks to see. And now the Bengals, they're 2-0, but at what cost, right? So,
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I had Burrow on my fantasy team, so
me,
kind of sucks to see him
me
go
too.
down. Yeah, really sucks to see him go down, but I mean, yeah, I think I agree with you. I think the Jags, man, like, you have to win this one. Like,
hmm
your team finally has some good drives on offense. You're looking pretty solid, and you don't come away with this when Joe Burrow goes down. Like that doesn't. You have to win this one.
Yeah.
Like it's just not good. I was glad to see Jamar Chase get so involved again, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like 14 receptions was
Mm-hmm.
really great. On the other side of the ball, Brian Thomas Jr., just like we thought, man, took a step back through 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Be curious to see if that continues because he's not looking like the player he was last
Yeah.
year. All right, and our last game, Commanders versus Packers.
Mm-hmm.
What do you rate this one?
It's Mediterranean Sea. Again, the Packers controlled this football game and really just do what they want to do against their opponent. Their defense is electric, elite so far through 2 games. They make the other teams, both the Lions and Commanders, who were really good offensive teams, look poor. You know, they're fast, they're quick. Parsons makes me shed a tear because he's in every play, tearing up, ruining any schemes the Commanders want to do, setting the edge. So it's not fun to watch, especially on a team I do not like at all. So on the Commander side of the ball, obviously McDaniels is out, or Jaden Daniels is out next week now from that game.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see the Mariota show, see how he does. But I'd be a little bit concerned. I think the run game is not what it was. Eckler's obviously out now with a torn Achilles, and they got rid of Brian Thomas. So the run game is in a scary position because now you don't have the dual threat quarterback in the run game. Then I don't know. Their weapons just don't seem to be the same as they were last year, and that's concerning for me for the Commanders moving forward.
Yeah. And I mean, we kind of talked about this, right? Like we had kind of thought that they might take a step back. I do think to an extent they have. I think it's tough when you watch a Packers team where their defense is so dominant to truly judge it. But I mean, this Packers team does look legit, and things are looking up for them. You know, my sister, who was for a Broncos fan like her whole life, and is suddenly a Packers fan all of a sudden. But anyways, it's a whole nother story. She texted me and said, "I think the Packers might be the team this year," and you know, I'm not saying they're not a contender, but I do think there are similarities to how the Lions played at the beginning of last year. In the sense of like, I don't know. Don't be surprised if this team peaks too early, is what I'm trying to get at. So, all right. Well, do you want to finish it off with a gridiron grid?
All right, we can try it. Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Yes.
Here we go. Gridiron grid.
Oh, not Browns players again.
Browns, Chiefs, Commanders. 1,000 career passing yards. Played 100 games or more.
Do the Browns even have anyone that has 1,000 yards besides Flacco, since they have a different quarterback every 2 games?
That's a great question, actually.
It's
Okay. All right. Well, if you think anyone, let me know.
Well, I mean, I have a guaranteed unicorn for the Browns again. If we want to use my boy Tyrone Holmes,
Which one?
Played in the 2000s. Oh, wait, maybe he didn't. No, he might. Oh, he might have been after that. Actually, he might have been 15. Oh yeah, he's later. Shit, never mind then. Uh-oh. Why you always gotta be the Browns, bro?
Might be too obvious. Yeah. Dwayne Bowe. What a pull, huh?
Old school.
Did he I gotta think of someone else first. All right.
All right.
Let's start shouting out some names.
About
I think Thomas ever.
dude.
He's it's too obvious though.
Okay. You think
What's up?
Colt McCoy has over 1,000 passing yards? You do him
Has
for
to,
either
right?
the Commanders or the.
Hell yeah, he does.
Wonder which. Yeah. For both.
There's no way Manziel did it, right?
He might have got there.
I doubt it. No, he only played. What? Not what I expected.
No.
Did you say he played for someone else though?
He played for the
Cole
Commanders
McCoy?
too. Yeah. So I wonder if he'd be better percentage.
He is, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What about Huntley? You think he's high, pretty high for the Browns? Right, he played.
Yeah, that's a good poll. Wait, what?
Okay.
Oh, because I bet. Did he ever actually play for them though? Like on their team?
I don't know.
I thought he might have gotten cut before.
Yeah.
I wonder if Pickett has it. Same dealio
Crazy.
though. This is a random guy.
Yeah.
Did Cody Kessler play? Oh my
there you
goodness!
Go. There you go. Okay.
Bag.
What about Brandon Whedon for played 100 plus games, or maybe that one? Either one.
What'd you say?
Brandon Whedon for played 100 plus games. He old.
Ooh.
For the Browns.
All right, that one didn't work.
What about played 100 plus? Is that where you put that? Sorry.
Yeah, that's where I put that. I know I'm cutting. Sorry.
You're good.
I'm blanking on the 2000s, man. That one's tough.
I know.
Or 100 plus. Sorry.
Yeah.
Brandon Whedon. I'm surprised.
What? Okay. Huh.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked on that one. 100 games though, like that is a lot. Like when you actually think about it.
What about like a kicker like Dustin Hopkins or?
Hopkins is a good one. Nice. Okay. Chiefs players. Who's that? Why am I trying to think of Chiefs running backs. Oh, it just missed the cutoff. I wonder if he played 100 games though. No.
Really?
Am I tripping? Did Asamoah? No. I thought he played for one of these teams. Maybe not. I think Eric Arms. No, he's too young, right? I'm thinking of the wrong player. All right, it's cutting out. This isn't going well anyways, so
exactly.
We can call it a day.
I don't ever want to see Browns players. I don't ever want to see early 2000s again. Terrible. Basketball is.
I'll take early peaks, and if I see Browns, we're done.
Yeah. What about rapid fire?
Oh yeah, rapid fire picks. All right, let's do it. Yeah, let's do that. 1 second, let me pull up the games. Last week I went 12-4, which isn't bad. I'll take it. All right, Thursday night football this week: Dolphins versus Bills. Bills. All right, going to Sunday: Packers Browns.
Packers.
Colts Titans. Oh, sorry. I'm also going Packers.
Yeah, Colts.
Yeah, I'm going Colts here as well. Don't be surprised if Titans upset them
Yeah.
though. Bengals Vikings.
Ooh. Carson Wentz versus Brown. I'm gonna go the Bengals. It's pretty ugly though. I think.
Yeah, I think either of these teams. Vikings are favored, which is interesting, but I'm gonna go with Bengals as well. Steelers Patriots.
Ooh. We go Steelers here.
I'll go Steelers as well.
Yeah.
Another game that I think can go either way.
Mhm.
Rams Eagles.
I'm gonna go a little Rams upset here. I think they've
I'm
been
going
playing better
Rams upset as
football.
well.
Yeah.
I like it. I know it's in Philly, but
hmm
I like the upset. Jets Bucks.
Bucks.
I'm going Bucks as well. Raiders Commanders.
I think I'm gonna go Raiders here.
I like the upset too, but it
The
is in
injuries are.
Washington.
Do I think Mariota is gonna play that good? This is where I'm. I
Wait,
don't
who's
know.
playing?
Mariota is the Commanders quarterback.
Ooh.
Is it-
Yeah, I'll go Raiders then.
mhm.
Yeah. Falcons Panthers.
Falcons.
I'm going Falcons as well. Texans Jags.
Texans got to win here.
I
believe
think
in them.
Texans
Yeah.
as well. I think it's a not must win, maybe
Yeah.
a little too early, but I
Uh,
do think it is
yeah.
necessary for momentum. Saints Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Seahawks. Cowboys Bears.
Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going Dallas. Cardinals 49ers.
Still think the Niners win.
Yeah. I think the Niners get it done as well. Chiefs Giants.
Why do I feel like this game's gonna be pretty close? You know,
I think it is
Chiefs.
too.
Chiefs are gonna win. They have to. Like the narratives tell me they're going to, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm going Chiefs as well.
Yeah.
Lions Ravens Monday night.
Mhm. Fuck.
Electricity
Yeah.
in Baltimore.
I'm gonna go Baltimore.
God, this one's tough.
hmm
Mm.
Baltimore smoked them last year, and that's what's pushing me
Yeah, that's a
here.
good point. And they're at home. I'll go Baltimore as well. Yeah. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. As always, make sure to stay logical. Read that nonsense. I got it right this time. Kid, thanks for
Bingo.
hopping on.
Yep.
Appreciate you.
Pleasure. Pleasure as always.